Hello everyone, I'm Neurobax. Welcome back to Aston Martin. We're about to start the races for Season 3. We have Bahrain coming up now, and the first thing we'll do, get our performance targets set. So, I think we'll have no problems. We still have the best car by quite a margin. So I think we'll just go all in here. And this is the cursed one, so again, just one driver, up to 5 races, because whenever I put that one up to 2, I feel that we crash a lot. But I also do that during the last part of the season, and there are a lot of crash heavy races during that last part, so that could also be the reason why. Now, with that in mind, before we start the race weekend, we'll go and have a quick look at the car again, just to see how we are standing with first and everything but cooling, even though our cooling is fairly high. I believe Red Bull had a lot of cooling at 91 and almost 85% here, so they're strong in that. But in terms of top speed here, Red Bull is second. So as you can see, we beat them out on speed, we beat them at acceleration. Pretty good there. There is a different team though that is better at turning, and Red Bull is actually quite shit at high speed cornering, which is a bit surprising honestly. But it is the stat that rises the most. And as you can see, Ferrari actually has some funny stats here, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So I assume that car 2 has even funnier stats. So it's a bit of awkward here, but still we have a huge advantage on medium speed corners. We have a fairly decent advantage on low speed, and even still we also have a huge advantage on high speed. So we have once again a very, very powerful car, and I think we're going to take it a bit chill now with the development forwards. We might turn it into focusing on, you know, the chassis, the side pods, the suspension, and then maybe either front wing or rear wing, and try and keep them up there, because I'm kind of tempted to see how high we can bring our car. We'll also have a quick look here on drivers, because I wanted to see if there's some new talents that we might want to focus on, but as you can see, currently there's still none. Behrman is still the best talent at 18. So wait, did it pop up some new ones? I believe me clicking Behrman and then pressing backwards gave us some new talents, interestingly enough. Manuel Paris. Is this a new one or is this an old one? I don't even know. And so Trulli is usually the youngest one in the game. So this is potentially 3 talents there. Yes, we will detail scout them, because why not? And we might take one of these and try and make them into champion during this playthrough. We'll have to see exactly what we do. So with that out of the way, thank you for clicking the video. Let's get into it. And if you have enjoyed the series so far, please drop a like. Helps me out a ton. Let's get into Bahrain. We've just finished our first race of the season at Bahrain. Basically pure domination here. As you can see, we almost lapped, well, everyone here. I do not understand why it's telling me that Perez here in 4th is just 1.2 seconds behind. He is not. He was about to get lapped too. So basically here we almost lapped the entire field. Lap time here is 1:32. 5 seconds off there, and we would have gotten points as well. So I'd say this is a pretty much pure domination. We were helped though here by us being able to do soft, medium, soft. And the tire advantage of each tire is about 8/10. So soft to medium 8/10, medium to hard 8/10, and the degradation isn't really that harsh. It's just 400s from soft to medium, and then another 200s from medium to hard. So soft to hard will still retain advantage for about almost 15 laps. So us being able to run soft, medium, soft is a huge advantage compared to the other teams. But with that out of the way, Ferrari had a good race here, 3rd and 5th, 4th and 8th for Red Bull. Lewis Hamilton Alpha got a good result for his first race here at 6th, Bottas 7th. Then we have Ocon and Norris finishing out the points for Alpine and McLaren respectively. Russell in 11th. Driver Championship here, no changes because it's the first race. In terms of constructors, we have ourselves, Ferrari, Red Bull, Alpha, Mercedes, Alpine, and McLaren. That is actually a surprising amount of development for Vettel here, honestly. He did 31 successful overtakes, 49 defense, so I guess that explains it. Guess Alonso was struggling to get by him. 5.7 million gained here. About an extra million from incentives, which is nice. That should put us on a good course this season. I might have gone a little bit too hard on development again. Might have made it a little bit less competitive than it should be. So let me know what you feel. Should we continue this past this season, or should I set up a game where we do a bunch of limitations to actually keep us in midfield for a bit longer? I'm thinking that we might do another Williams game where we get Stroll and Latifi and like do a Canadian Zero to Hero. That's mean. That's not actually true. Canada challenge, something like that. And we also add some restrictions like I'm allowed to use, say, intense, but I'm not allowed to move the sliders myself. I'm only allowed to use presets, things like that. I think that could make things a bit more interesting, but give me your thoughts and we'll see what we do. Post-race, congratulations, the board is happy. I would hope so. And we're right on here to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. No problems in our first race. Q3 and Q2 should be no issue for our drivers, to be honest. And we do have 10 million in the bank. I don't think we're going to spend that money yet. I think we're going to save it. Even so, I don't think we have any facilities that we could, spend it on. This is 27 million, 29, 11 and a half, 12. So we still have some work ahead of us before we can do that. We can refurbish this one, though, before I forget. Let's get the race sim refurbished. And also the helipad. I should have done that a bit earlier. Memorabilia, tour center, hospitality, boardroom. Again, these aren't that much of a problem. We won't have any problems with team attractiveness, in all honesty. Morale could be something, but I don't think it matters too much, so I will not be investing into it. We actually have points here for our race engineers. Put it into pit crew management for both of them. And Michelle here, ranked up to 86. Very good. With that, I think we are ready now to just head on to Saudi Arabia. On to Jeddah. Here we are at the end of Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Actually quite eventful. As you can see, the difference between our two drivers was just 7,000. There are a couple of reasons for this. You can also see that Alonso started 10th. There's a reason for that too. So, first things first, Alonso starting 10th because he crashed in Q3. He red flagged. He basically destroyed a gearbox, did a bit of a number on his engine, but other than that, components are good. We basically relegated that gearbox for practice usage down to 55%, engine down to 85%. So, not a huge hit, but still, it does have an effect on us. And also, the reason why our two drivers are so close here is due to signs on lap 46. Well, 48 actually. Red flagging the race, and as a result, we ended up having a restart on lap 50, the final lap. And basically, we had a photo finish here, a pretty close one, where you could basically see the Vettel being a few centimeters ahead of Alonso. So, pretty good restart there. Interesting to watch for sure. Leclerc third here for Ferrari. We have the Red Bulls in 4th and 7th. Ricciardo here, managing to get 5th for McLaren. Started 4th. Pretty good result. Bottas and Russell 6th and 8th for Mercedes. Albon 9th. Hamilton 10th. That's it for top 10. Leclerc moves up here. So does Verstappen, Ricciardo, Russell, and Albon. They are the ones with points, therefore they're moving up. The ones without points we're not too interested in, but Ricciardo here had a really, really good result, honestly. And constructors, we have Mercedes and McLaren moving up. Alpha and Alpine moving down. Not much to say about development, an okay amount. Don't really get much of it anyways due to the drivers having low growth modifiers. We do pay a bit of an extra amount of money here to battle and driver bonuses, nothing we do about that. Ending up with about 4 million this race. Thanks a little bit. But those 7,000s cost us 1.5 million. Kinda happy I didn't gamble on top of that, to be fair. Suspension has been manufactured. I believe we already slapped everything on our car, though. I'm just going to double check. As you can see, it did destroy chassis, destroyed a front wing. The rear wing was good, though. Was safe. destroyed a side pod. Guess we should manufacture two floors. I don't think he's destroyed both of them. Destroyed a suspension as well. So yeah, we had a lot of damage there to the car. Honestly, I guess he was totally wrecked then. He did basically the same thing that Sainz did, but it just didn't show me on the first replay. That's on me. But yeah, good result in Saudi Arabia. Still got a 1-2, even with the crash and red flag in Q3. I think we can be fairly content, rather than being happy with it. It's an okay result, all things considered. Manufacturing completed for side pods. We have refurbished our helipad, which is good. Gonna have another suspension low stock. Yeah, I know, but here's the thing. I believe we are currently researching a suspension. Why not? But we will. So for now, we'll live with the prospect of just having one extra suspension. If need be, we'll emergency manufacture. I am a bit greedy, so to speak, so we will be saving money where we can. Car is still number one on everything. We are still lacking cooling though. That's just how it be. And I think the AI has maybe a bit too much of a focus on cooling. I did want to check how the McLaren was looking though, in terms of, well, against the other cars. It actually is really good at cornering, which explains why it's that high up. Decent cornering. It's a bit slow. Well, not too slow really. But it's actually pretty close to us here in terms of cornering compared to the other cars. So if they fix the low speed cornering, they could actually be a bit of a challenger. Going to be interesting to watch. I assume that they made an underfloor maybe, or a front wing. That has boosted their stats a bit. That's the only way I could imagine that happening. Qualifying here for the Australian Grand Prix. We're going to go for a 1-2, but drivers in Q2. Finish position again, 1-2. And I don't think we need to change anything else. With that, I think we are ready now to just head into the Australian Grand Prix. Just want to have a look before we do that, though, on when the projects are done. 6 days, 14 days, and 26 days. So within the month here, we're going to get all of our current projects finished. Let's head to Australia. Here we are at the end of the Australian Grand Prix. We had another 1-2. Vettel won ahead of Alonso by a tenth. Leclerc and Sainz secure 3rd and 4th for Ferrari. Norris gets 5th for McLaren. Verstappen 6th for Red Bull. Ocon 7th for Alpine. Bottas 8th for Mercedes. And then we have Gasly and Hamilton securing 9th and 10th for Alfa Romeo. Wasn't too much happening this race, honestly. Pretty calm and boring, honestly. Had a incident between a Haas of Magnussen and I believe one of the Williams. They crashed into each other, but other than that, there was no real fireworks there. We have Vettel overtaking Alonso here for the championship. We have Sainz in 4th. They're going up 2. We have Lando Norris in 8th, going up 5 places, and then we have Gasly in 13th. Constructors, we have no changes. Mercedes is now just 1 point away from getting overtaken by McLaren. Development is alright. Decent amount of points for both of them. Although, again, they barely get any. We still made 4.8 million, almost 4.9, even with the, the negatives from the driver bonuses, cancelled out by the performance incentives and guarantees. That's good. Again, still expensive, but we'll live with it. Race Sim has been refurbished. Nice. And we believe we have a regulation vote for minor technical regulation for 25. The minimal regulation, moderate. So it's basically, I believe everything is getting hit by either a 5 or a 10% modifier here. So we'll go for, honestly, if we go for moderate, that would actually be better for us because the AI is really bad at answering those. So I should have wanted minimal to help the AI, to be fair. The AI is really, really poor at doing focus research. They just do everything kind of randomly and focus everything the same to some degree. We have the new chassis here ready. I believe we are lacking chassis in here. Yeah, we only have a couple. We'll manufacture 4 of these. That should be okay. And as I said, we'll be focusing our designs on the suspension, the chassis, and the side pods this season. I feel it would be nice to get them a little bit further up into the expertise row, so to speak. We gain about 2% here from doing that. How we're looking on the chassis, about 3-4%. So again, I want to try and boost these up to about 80%. Not 80%, 70%, 65%. 65 to 70%, let's just say it like that. Let's do another here for the chassis. Honestly, we can do that. And we'll do intense. That should be okay. We will start doing research though instead. Once research opens, which is actually fairly soon. We're also going to do one more design for the suspension before that though. Larry Grooves have been scouted. We cannot propose a contract, but we have scouted him. I believe the same here for Carla Costa. Cannot contract. We'll have to see in a couple of seasons if she is hireable. And we're gonna scout this lad too because he's the highest average so far. There we go. We'll see what the changes to the regulations are. We have Sidepods design completed as well. Technical regulations have been... Research has been started. Minor technical regulations go through, so just 5%. That's okay for us. And we'll be putting 2 points into reactions here for good old Dennis Hauger. Now, in terms of staff, do they have points? They do. Put that into underfloor. Put it into, yes, high-speed downforce. Get that maxed. And our staff here does not have any points, unfortunately. Emilia in poor condition, again. If you look at it from a prestige point, we should really be, you know, refurbishing these, but we don't really need to. So we're not going to. Which is a horrible take, honestly. But it's also one that I stand by. For now, though, I think we're going to make another Sidepod. So we're not going to manufacture these. And honestly, we could start researching now. But, as I said, we are going to be making a few more parts. The fact that everything is hit by 5%, though, is a bit concerning. So I'm thinking we make the suspension, as I said, and then we just do research for the rest of the season. I'll have to see how the gains are in comparison. But we are definitely going to be making one more suspension here for sure. That's also the more expensive part, so let's get that on the way. Next race is here. Going to go for full payouts here on the preparation for the performance. Fastest lap. And I think we're ready to head off to Emilia Romagna. Let's go to Italy. Here we are at the end of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Vettel won. Alonso got second. Probably would have gone first if we had not pitted him for fastest lap, as Vettel ran extremely wide on the last few corners on the final lap. That's on me. Leclerc and Sainz 3rd and 5th for Ferrari. Verstappen and Perez 4th and 6th. Bottas and Russell 7th and 8th for Mercedes. And we have Norris in 9th for McLaren and Ocon 10th for Alpine. Driver Championship, we have no changes in the top here as a result. And in the Constructors, we have no changes as well. Mercedes pulls a bit further away from McLaren again. An okay amount of development. Not great, not terrible. Live with it. And in terms of money, we make way less than we used to. We make about 4.1 as a result of paying Vettel's bonus, unfortunately. But that's just how things be. Nothing we can do about it. We have a front wing coming up in 4 days' time. Let's get to it. I don't think we have anything in particular we need to check before that. Front wing design has been completed. We have a quick look here. It's the post Emilia Romagna race replay. Front wing design has been completed and we could manufacture it. We could also have a look in the warehouse here. It is a little bit better, not by a lot, but it is better. So let's just manufacture 6 of these. And we'll consider if we want to use them or not, but at least we can manufacture them. Let's also start some new designs. Car parts development, current projects. We're doing chassis, rear wing suspension. Do, I guess, a sidepod design. Final one before we do research. And we'll do just everything right. Just this way of doing things. And it will be actually an alright upgrade here too, as you can see. Let's get that away. Really easy. And as I said, we'll probably do research from this point forward. Suspension is in low stock. We're doing a research. We have 3, so I'm hoping that we don't have any more accidents, but who knows? Rear wing has also finished. We have ATR period starting. And if we have a quick look at this one compared to the old one, This is actually quite a significant upgrade, as you can see, in terms of speed. 0.11 kph for top speed, 0.12 for DRS. So again, quite a significant upgrade, even for low speed 30 cornering. More than a percentage point gained. So let's manufacture 4 of these. And I think we are going to start doing research now to deal with the problems. Again, we're just going to play it as a normal season, even if we might decide to, again, do something else that might be a little bit more challenging after this one. Car part development, project, research. I think we'll get the underflow going. We do have CFD hours. Use that to fix all of the underflow's problems. And then we'll use the next CFD period on, or aerodynamic period, on another piece. So let's just get all to the right here. And this will actually not completely fix the problems, as you see. Drag reduction is still going to be a bit loose a bit. Same for everything else. So we're probably going to have to run 2 iterations of the underfloor, except for airflow sensitivity here. This one will actually be fixed. So we'll have to see what we do there. For now, this one will be done by July. So we still have plenty of time to get another research going on the underfloor this season. Car development report, we're still #1 in anything but top speed. We're actually losing out a bit. Cooling's also losing out, but not much we can do about that. Race prep for the Miami Grand Prix. Quick look here. Q2, qualifying 1-2 shouldn't be a problem. Again, this season is going to be a bit probably too dominating, but we might try and do some last first challenges to spice it up every now and again. We'll have to see what we do. Let's head to Miami. Here we are at the end of the Miami Grand Prix. Alonso first, Vettel second. The Ferraris ended up 3rd and 7th. The McLarens ended up 4th and 10th, both in the points. We have 5th and 6th for Red Bull. The Mercedes take the last point scoring positions with an 8th and 9th. And we had a couple of DNFs here. We had 3 cars that DNFs before the end of the race. Magnussen damaged his rear wing twice. Crashed once, continued with damage rear wing. Crashed again, completely destroyed it. Safety car. And then we had a case of bowling here, where both Schumacher and Stroll ended up out. And I believe it was Ricciardo that was involved as well. He got away with a penalty, managed to get into points. Fairly good result for him, all things considered. Driver Championship, we have 2 changes. Verstappen moves up, so does Russell. Other than that, everyone stays put. Sainz and Verstappen now just 1 point between them. And in the Constructors' Championship here, we have no changes, but McLaren is catching up to Mercedes. Development point for both Vettel and Hauger. Pretty good. And we make 7.3 million total here. About 2.5 million in extra performance incentives. And for Vettel, we're going to put that point into braking. Bring him up to 84%. 84%? 84 overall. We have a design completed here too. Another chassis. We're going to get it manufactured. And we actually don't have any slots to manufacture it with. We're apparently using all of them. So we'll have to wait for that. We are going to start a new project though. It's going to be a research. We're going to research on the rear wing. And we're going to try and fix all of these minor technical hits. For the rear wing, this isn't really going to do much. We're going to have to do probably 4 of these to cancel it out. Which is going to suck a bit. But we'll do what we have to do. We'll have to see how much we can get done. But that's just how things are. They keep on pestering me about the suspension. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do anything with it. Rear wing has been manufactured. Scouting has been completed for Manuel Paris. And again, he supposedly has 2 seasons. We'll have to see up to the end of this one if he's hireable or not. Go to the warehouse. Chassis. We're gonna... Oh, it's because we're already manufacturing a chassis. Okay. Well, never mind. Chassis manufacturing completed. And I believe we also have the front wing manufacturing completed. Good. And with that, we're going to manufacture another set of chassis. And it's going to be a bit expensive, but we can live with it. We do have a lot of money though. Do we want to invest into a facility maybe? We could do wind tunnel or safety, honestly. Maxing these would be nice. Let's do safety. We can do wind tunnel next time. We have a race coming up too, so we should make some money. That's fine. Front wing chassis manufactured. We might as well just slap them on for this next race, I think. It shouldn't hurt. Qualifying position, we should be able to do 1-2. Q2 should be doable. And I'm thinking that we maybe do a last to first in one of these 4 races just to make things a bit more interesting. But I'm a bit unsure. We should probably do it here though if we are going to do it. Let's do some other time. Let's go to the Spanish Grand Prix. Here we are at the end of the Spanish Grand Prix. It was a wet one, as you can see from the amount of pit stops, a lot of back and forth. Forecast not working properly annoyed me greatly. We have Fernando Alonso in first, we have Vettel in second, Sainz third, Ferrari's other driver in 10th, have 4th and 8th for Red Bull, 5th for Mercedes, 6th and 9th for McLaren, and then we have 7th for Alpine with Esteban Ocon. We have a few driver movements. Fernando moves up into first, have Sainz moving up into 4th, Lando Norris to 7th, Russell and Ocon both move up 2 places each to 9th and 10th. Then we have for the constructors, Alpine moving up to 6th, McLaren and Mercedes still just 3 points between them. Okay, amount of development. Money-wise, we did lose out a little bit because we didn't get past that because of the rain. As for me though, we could have gotten it if I'd pushed a little bit harder before the rain. That's just how it be. Suspension design has been completed. Get it manufacturing. And we'll also be doing some research. Now, as a car analysis, we have a very, very good car. Even with the new front wing and rear wing though, we're still 3rd and 5th in acceleration. So we have a little bit of work ahead of us there, but I still concerned. Have the new chassis here that once it's manufactured will slap on the car. Front wing is on, rear wing is on, Sidepods too. We have to manufacture them, get it going. And with that, I think we are going to start, as I said, a new project here. We're going back into research, we're going to do suspension, and we're going to see if we can cancel out the negatives here from the regulations. It'll probably take 2 tries, maybe 3, but should be doable. We gain about around half of what we need from this one project. With that, we're actually ready for the next weekend, which is Monaco. We also have a few development points of Bahrain that we'll put straight into reactions, bring him up to 74 overall. And honestly, I guess we're just ready for Monaco. We just need to set up our guarantees. Qualify should be again 1-2. P3 should be doable. Fast lap should be doable. And with that, we're ready to head to Monaco. Here we are at the end of the Monaco Grand Prix. We did a 1-2. We had some rain, which led to extra stops, as you can see. It's a bit weird, the weather right now. But we secured a 1-2. Ferrari at 3-4. Red Bull at 5-7. Mercedes 6th. McLaren 8th. Alpine 9th. And AlphaTauri in 10th. Impressively enough. For the Drivers' Championship, we only have 1 change. Russell moving up 1 place. Constructors, we don't really have any changes. But AlphaTauri scores a important point. They're now up to 3. And development wise, not much to say. Decent enough. Made 5.5 million. Is alright. It would seem that the weather center in my save currently has a bug that changes, well, misplaces when it starts raining, which is a bit unfortunate, but we'll just have to live with that. Weather center is in poor condition though, so we're gonna have to refurbish that. I don't know if it's been broken from anything else here, but we're definitely gonna refurbish the weather center. It is very, very annoying. I know suspension is low stock, we're making a new one, don't worry about it. Sidepods design has been completed. have a financial report, car development report, and we're still first in everything but speed, so we need to work on that. We don't have any manufacturing slots available, probably because I'm already making some. Yeah, let's cancel that project. Plus development, current projects, Sidepods manufacturing. Yeah, cancel it. Start a new one. I got some of the money back. That's okay. We're also going to start research here on front wing. Everything in here. And we'll see if we have any projects we think we're going to have to run. So, probably... By the looks of this, we're gaining about 2%. We need about 4. So, we're probably going to have to run 2 or 3 projects to make this work. Get one started. Was done in August. So, potentially we'll lose a little bit of expertise. It's every single stat. But, that's fine. We have race prep here for Azerbaijani. Baku. Both drives in Q3 should be doable. Problem. Last lap. Finish position should also be doable. Good. With that, I think we're ready for the next race. Let's go. Here we are at the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We had another one too. We lapped us up to the 7th position. So again, a very strong showing. We did a 2-stopper, which definitely helps us out as we were lapping about 3 seconds quicker on that final stint. So we had a huge advantage. Again, 1-2 from us, Alonso 1, and we have Leclerc and Sainz 3rd and 5th for Ferrari, Verstappen and Perez 4th and 6th for Red Bull. 7 and 8 go to Alfa Romeo, 9 and 10 surprisingly go to Alpha Tauri, which I believe doubles them their points. Also, driver championship, we have Hamilton moving up to 11th, otherwise we have no real changes. Still, basically, no big surprises here. Constructors, we have Alfa Romeo moving up past Alpine with a 10-point squad, and Alpha Tauri, as I said, doubles their current points. Alonso gets a development point, pretty good. That nothing to write home about, make a decent amount of money as usual. We did all of our extra challenges there for financials. Let's continue. So currently we have finished first 8 races of the season. We are again in a very dominating position. Alonso has a point here that we can invest in. We will be putting that into braking. Braking is probably the best stat all around, honestly. Cornering is also good, reactions are nice, but braking will probably see the biggest gains. Again, I haven't actually tested this yet, so I'll be doing that hopefully soon. I'll have to see how soon that is, because I'm actually not sure myself. But we have the Canadian Grand Prix in 4 days, and fortunately it's been a little bit of time, so I need to just quickly familiarize myself with where we are. So we're currently doing research, that is okay. That nothing much is happening. Let's continue. Manufacturing of suspension. We'll check the car parts once we get to next race, what we're looking at in terms of putting on new ones. And the race prep for Canada here will be very simple. Both drivers in Q3, both drivers in Q2 shouldn't again be an issue at all. Position 1-2 should also be fairly likely. And with that, let's head off to Canada. Before we get into practice though, for Canada here, we're going to have a very quick moment where we have a look at the car. So currently we have some car parts that we have not fitted. One of them being this chassis, as you can see, it would still be an okay upgrade. I don't know if we should actually slap these on the car. We're currently using the 2nd version. We have a 4th version incoming. Front wing, we have only one. Rear wing, we have the 3rd edition here. Well, 2nd edition, technically. Sidepods, we actually have some new ones here that again would be an okay upgrade, don't get me wrong. It would be decent, but for now I don't think we'll do anything with them. The underfloor is still just 2nd edition. And the suspension, we actually have an upgrade. So we have upgrades for suspension, for sidepod, and for chassis. So we'll have to see what we do with the season, if we slap them on later on. But that is basically what I assume. So we do have some parts to play with in the future. An alright amount of development, even with the crash, and we lost less money than I thought we would. We still made a decent amount from our guarantees and incentives there, so we can be happy. Yeah, that was an interesting one. Here we are at the end of the Rough Canadian GP. where we had both our cars crash into each other, cause a red flag, and, well, basically crash out. So we do have some problems here. We are missing car parts, we're missing suspension, we're missing chassis. So I think we're going to take this opportunity to just go ahead and, well, change out some of the pieces. So I'm thinking that we upgrade to the C3 for both cars. We only have one C2 left. And for the suspension, we're probably going to just go right ahead and upgrade to S4. Might as well. And I'm wondering how bad the other damage is, though, but I would assume the front wing survived for neither of them. So we're going to have to make 2 new ones there. Hope I made the right one. Rear wing survived. Sidepods actually survived, impressively enough. The underfloor survived too, so chassis, suspension, and front wing all got destroyed on all cars. And if we have a quick look here at the other car parts, engines, let's see, 74, that didn't take damage. ERS was fresh, didn't take damage. Gearbox took a lot of damage, but was about close to 50%, so again, not a huge loss. And if we check the other car, it has a completely disabled gearbox. Luckily, though, it seems like the engine and ERS survived there too, so no big concerns. But yeah, we destroyed gearboxes, we just showed some car pieces, but that's just how it is sometimes, unfortunately. That is racing, a difficult race. That's what happens when the cars crash into each other. So yeah, we should be fine, though, let's be honest. Sainz with the victory. Ferrari got a good weekend as a result, and as a result here in the standings, Ferrari got 44 points. They ran far away from Red Bull. They took full advantage of our mistake, and Sainz and Leclerc again is scoring a lot of points, getting a bigger gap down to the Red Bull drivers. Yeah, sorry for the follow-up there. I am a little bit stressed, so that might be reflected in the episode, but I'll try and slow things down. We will have some suspension research coming up here now. Let's get that, well, let's get a new one started. Again, I am a little bit uncertain what we are going to be doing here, but I'm thinking we're finishing this season and then we'll make a decision on the future. So for now, it's not a big concern. We'll just put everything to the right here. We are going to have to do at least one more iteration here to make sure that we cancel out all of the negatives from the technical directives. That is not a concern. Also, in terms of facilities, I don't think we're going to invest too much more into anything here. Anything would be the wind tunnel. We do have the money right now, but I think we're going to wait a little bit because 400,000 is not a big buffer, so to speak. Team hub in poor condition. It's an experience skin building, so we do want to refurbish that. And there we go. The buffer immediately put to work. Front wing manufacturing complete. Good. Means we have full set of front wings for Silverstone in 5 days. The gearboxes are in poor condition, I know, but we can fix that during the race. It's not a problem. New ATR period. We'll probably put that into one of the big 3 just to make life easier for ourselves. Mitchell's contracts end soon. Alonso's contracts end soon. Honestly, we'll renew this at the end of the season. It's just easier to do it like that. Race prep. See, that's the wrong place to press. Q3, Q2 shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, Canada was a bit cursed. So, qualifying position 3, apparently we still maintained that one, but we lost the finish position 1. So, we're actually kind of good in that regard. Let's get on with the British Grand Prix. There we are, we just finished the British Grand Prix. A bit more boring race than the Canadian Grand Prix. We luckily didn't have any accident though. Alonso had a couple of lockups, a couple of spins. That's why he finished second, but he probably would have won if not for that. Still got fastest lap though. Good for him. Ferrari 3rd and 4th. Red Bull 5th and 10th. We have McLaren 6th and 9th. A bit surprising, honestly. We have Mercedes 7 and 8. And generally, basically what we can expect. Driver Championship here, we have no changes in top 10. And for the constructor standings, we have no changes here either. In terms of development, Hauge gets the point, but again, our drivers are fairly old, so unfortunately it takes a lot of time to gain anything there. 1.5 million in driver bonuses, but we make 2.3 basically from incentives. So although it's not great, we can live with it. No amount of money still made. And with that said, the Tondi actually has a couple of points. We can slap those into drag reduction maybe? Let's get drag reduction and get a little bit more speed. Then we can start working medium and low speed. Shouldn't be a concern. Cronin also has a point. Sorry, Clement. I don't know why I called him Cronin. Okay, this is why I called him Cronin. Cronin actually also has a point. We're going to put that in pit crew management for both of our race engineers. Just better. We could also have a look at our pit crew. We might want to move them over to tire changes maybe. Do that. And the car development, we do have a couple of upgrades due to us slapping on new pieces, but we're still actually lacking a little bit in top speed and acceleration. But even so, those aren't super important right now. Cornering is probably king. Post-race British Grand Prix, not too interesting there. Congratulations, board is happy. Well, I would assume so. Let's continue to final race, well, the half point race, Austrian Grand Prix, the 11th race of calendar. Performance targets here will be qualifying 1-2. I pressed the wrong button. 1-2, there we go. 2-3 for both drivers, and of course we're going to go for another 1-2 finish. Qualifying position streak 1-2 for both drivers, 5 races. Again, this one is fairly, it's a lot easier than the other one, let's be honest. So let's get that underway. And with that, let's go to the Austrian Grand Prix. Here we are at the end of the Austrian Grand Prix. As you can see, we had another 1-2. It was a wet one. Weather's still kind of bugged, unfortunately, which makes it hard to predict, but we still did good. Russell in 3rd for Mercedes, Bottas 7th for Mercedes. Then we have a surprise here. Norris 4th for McLaren, 5 and 6 for Ferrari, and the biggest surprise here, Tsunoda 8th for Williams, Gasly 9th for Alpha, Ocon 10th for Alpine, and Red Bull had a very disappointing afternoon here with 13th and 14th, thanks to a few spins and some other, well, smaller accidents. Driver Championship here, we have Russell moving up past Norris, just 1 point between them, 2 points between the Ferrari boys, and as you can see, just 5 points there between Vettel and Alonso. So we could actually have a fight here for the title this season. They basically have the exact same finishing here, both 5 wins, but Alonso is currently leading on the 5 fastest lap points he have over Vettel. So that's going to be a bit interesting to watch. Constructors, we have no changes here, except for Williams moving up, really. Well, it's a change, but it's not a big one. It's going to be interesting to see if they can keep hold on that 9th place, though. And in terms of development, it's a decent basis here, 900, well, basically 1,000 points and 800. But unfortunately, they gain not too much due to their age. Driver bonuses here, 1.5 million goes to Vettel, but we still make 4.2. Can be happy with that. We lose money from Vettel winning, but again, it's not a concern here. Ray Wing research completed. Let's get that looked at. Staff experience gain paused again. I think we'll just attend because I don't know what this event actually does, but at this stage, 7 days of, well, a week of staff experience, we can sacrifice that. Ray Wing research has been completed. Let's get a new one started. And again, to cancel out the negatives here, let's just put this ATR period into the Ray Wing, and I think we can accept that. It should be okay. And with that, I think once we get the sliders correct here, that should potentially deal with any negatives here. We'll be still lacking a little bit, as you can see, but it will alleviate a lot of the pains that we get from regulations. But as you can see, our expertise is already close to 80%, so we are severely low at gains due to that, so we can't really complain too much, honestly. We also have a regulation change here coming in. 14 changes, double points for last race. Let's vote for that. More mayhem. There we are.